Hello, I'm Isaac Morey. Welcome to Talk Commerce. Today we'll be hearing from Melissa Morris. She's a professor, artist, and marketer, and today she'll be telling us the story of how she helped transform her family business for the 21st century. Sam's Caribbean Marketplace has been in operation for over 3 decades, but Melissa helped lead an important transition from an outdated e-commerce platform onto Shopify, which involved importing over 1,000 products. Today, she's helping move the store's in-house restaurant online too, enabling customers to order meals at the click of a button. One thing that also stands out to me in this story is the way that Melissa uses content to increase engagement. She uses things like videos and photography to drive more traffic and conversion to the site. If you're into marketing or e-commerce or you have a family business, I think you're going to love this episode. So without further ado, let's hand it over to Melissa and Brent.
Welcome to this episode of Talk Commerce. Today I have Melissa Morris. She is with Sam's Caribbean Marketplace, a Caribbean Jamaican marketplace in New York. Melissa, go ahead, do an introduction for yourself. Tell us your role. You gave me 3 roles, but tell us a couple of your day-to-day roles and one of your passions in life.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much for having me, Brent. So my name is Melissa Morris, as you said before, and I am the manager of marketing and new business developments of my family's business, which is Sam's Caribbean Marketplace. We're located in West Hempstead, New York. That's in Long Island. And we've been around for going on 33 years. So we're in our 33 years will be in December. And so that's pretty exciting. So I actually started working in the business since I was 14 and I'm now 28. So 14 years, I guess, of experience there. I started off doing, basic functions like packing the shelves and, just little things. I remember when I was 7, I would go around the register just for fun to pretend like I'm ringing up customers. So I fell in love with the business since I was a child, and my father asked me to work in the business just for the summer when I was 14, and that's how I got started. I'm also a adjunct professor at a local college, and I do have another role in healthcare marketing, but I don't want to say all of these things because then I'll just go down a whole list of things that I do.
That's great. And how about passions? Anything outside of working and marketing and all the other things you're doing?
Yes, absolutely. So for my passions, I would say that if I could just be an artist and just sit on a beach somewhere and just paint and make millions of dollars, I would do that. And so I do love art. I love also in terms of fitness, I do like Pilates as well. That's something that I try to stay up with. And let's see, music. I do love music. I love listening to music just in my free time as well.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. All right. So just before we get started, I'm going to do this thing called the Free Joke Project. I'm going to tell you a joke, and all you have to do is give me a rating 8 through 13. So here we go. I'm in search for someone to assist me with milking cows at my dairy farm. Must work well with udders.
I love it. That's a 13. I love it.
That's great. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to share my experience because we had a family business as well, and we got our kids started in their teens. And I'm guessing my son was in his early teens and just was doing Q&A work for websites. So
Awesome.
tell us, what was it like? I mean, I think, my kids have also grown up and gone on to hopefully bigger and better things. Tell us about your early experiences with working in a store like that.
Oh my goodness. So my early experiences, it was definitely a fun experience. But then I think as a kid growing up in a business, you end up seeing a lot of things that adults typically would. Not necessarily bad things, but I feel like working in the business as a teenager made me a little bit more professional now as an adult because I do know how to handle certain situations that maybe even some of my peers might struggle with. I have to keep up with my work ethic, make sure that I'm on time, even though sometimes I'm not always on time, but I try to be. And just a few other things. I think that when you work in a business as a kid, again, you just learn so much. I've learned so many skills throughout the years, and I think that's something that I really am happy about. And I'm glad that I'm able to continue to hone in on these skills as well.
My thought about when I look at the pictures of the store and things like that are that this is a local business. You're not, probably don't have a website or it's a rudimentary site, but you actually have a very in-depth site and there's a lot of stuff there, a lot of stuff to purchase. Oh, were you involved with the process of going on the internet?
Yes. So originally, my dad, I think this is back in the early 2000s, he created a website and we were using that site for years up until last year, actually, 2024. And the thing is, my dad, he put me in charge of pretty much rebuilding the website, revamping it and making it more modern. So we had to take so many products, it's over 1,000 products, and put them into Shopify. Actually, that's the template that I went with because Shopify was just an easier interface for us. At first, my dad wanted to build a website from scratch and use developers, but that would have been super expensive. So I was able to convince him to use Shopify, and it's been going really well ever since. So yeah, good stuff.
How have you been able to connect the food part of the business and the recipes and some of the pictures I'm seeing, like I'm already getting hungry.
Yes.
How have you been able to convert or connect some of those things to the online sales?
Definitely. Okay, so pretty much right now we have our grocery items available for sale, which is like the seasonings, the breads that we sell. We also sell Jamaican patties, whether it's beef patties, vegetarian patties, and items like that, pepper sauces. But we also have a restaurant, and we're working on integrating our restaurant menu into the Shopify template. My dad is really working on that and he's, up all night trying to figure this out. So that is something that we are working on right now. So soon customers will be able to order their meals through our website, and that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Mhm.
What sort of things have you seen in terms of food and people that like this certain food that they're looking at?
Absolutely. So I would say that our customers, they just love our service and they also love the food that we produce along with the groceries that we sell. So even if someone isn't interested in making their own meal, they'll eventually be able to purchase meals like our oxtails. We have jerk chicken, curry goat, so many different Caribbean cuisine that we carry. And also, we're working on expanding our menu as well to maybe try some different fusion foods. So we could throw in different cultures and also, be able to sell these items to our customer base.
From a marketing standpoint, what sort of challenges have you seen in helping to get your word out and getting it past the local market into the broader market? Is there specific challenges you've experienced?
Yes, definitely. So when our website was not as up to date, we had customers who are, not local in New York. And we had a really strong base, but customers started to fall off because our website was literally terrible. It was so bad. There was a lot of glitches. The shipping costs would be some outrageous cost and then customers would see that and say, whoa, I'm not paying, $1,000 for shipping. So they would just, leave the items and probably go to a different company. So that is why we really wanted to focus on building a new site. And that took us about 2.5 years to get all of that together. So now customers have a more user-friendly experience as opposed to the past. But also, customers were able to call in if they were having issues online, and we would be able to put these orders together manually. And then we'd be able to process that way. But now they don't have to take that extra step to call. It's just more seamless at this point.
You use a lot of video and great images on your site. How have you seen success in the amount of video you're doing on some of the landing pages? And I clicked on the just dropped section, and there's a great video of somebody explaining. I don't have the sound on, but
Yeah.
tell us about the sort of the idea about the amount of video and images and all the other fun things you have going on the site.
Absolutely. So I do have to credit my dad for really integrating a lot of the videos. I was responsible for most of the pictures of the products that you see, but my dad, he loves videos and he knows that that is something that will attract users. Typically, when we had our old site, it was very static. There was just maybe one little blurry picture and nothing else. So now having all of these videos and all these different animations, we find that customers are spending a longer time on our site as opposed to the old site, which was like ooh, this is a little shocking. And then them leaving, now they're spending more time. And eventually that's converting into spending on the site, which is great.
One of the things that well, let me just back up. Is there a specific Jamaican made items that you find that Americans have discovered that they really like that you've been able to have success with?
Oh my goodness, I love that question. So I would say that, okay. So something that Americans typically really enjoy would be I'm going into the food, even though the food is not available right now. It's our stewed oxtail. That's something that they love. But then also the beef patties and the vegetarian patties that we carry on our site right now. People love those. They're just, especially like the little cocktail ones, they're great hors d'oeuvres, just quick, easy bites. You're hosting a party, you could just grab one of those and it's just great for the guests. So I would say our patties, our oxtail, and then also the pepper sauces. Some people, they've done like little challenges with the hottest pepper sauce. So I've seen, especially some of our younger customers come in and purchase, all these different levels of hot sauce. And they say that they're doing challenges. So I think that's pretty fun too.
And tell me about the bread and butter. I'm sorry,
It's okay.
the Sam's Bread and Butter Express.
Yes, it's a mouthful. It's our door-to-door delivery service that's available in Jamaica. We do, of course, deliver throughout the United States and especially in New York, but we wanted to expand to Jamaica because we noticed that customers were asking about it. So I remember this like it was yesterday. I was at the register and a customer was asking, "Hey, can I send groceries to my relatives in Jamaica and you guys just deliver it to their homes?" And I was like, "No." And at this time, I was in high school. Maybe I was like 17 or so. And I was like, "No, that's not something that we do." And one of my coworkers asked me, he said, "Why don't we do that? Because that would be a great idea." And I thought about it and I was like, okay, I need to tell my dad this because that actually does make sense. Because a lot of times Caribbean people here, they send either money or goods down to their relatives, back home. So why don't we help facilitate that? So doing that, I asked my dad. He said, that's something that he'll look into. But he at first was like, what? We get it, but we were trying to figure out how we could do it. So we finally figured out a way to do that. And now customers are able to send grocery items, whether it's your relatives or you're in Jamaica and you need groceries delivered to your hotel room, we can do that for you.
Sure, that's an amazing story on how you've been able to innovate outside of that. It would be sort of like somebody from England ordering groceries from America for somebody in England.
Yes, I know it's pretty crazy, but customers in England can actually order groceries for their relatives in Jamaica as well. So it's international.
Yeah, got it. So what is your outlook on business now for this rest of the year? And I guess have the tariffs affected you for getting your products into the U.S.?
Okay, yes, that's a great question. So, right now, with the tariff situation, we're still a little bit uncertain. We've had to raise certain prices, not necessarily pertaining to the tariffs, but kind of sort of. But hopefully, we don't see too many price raises on our end, so we don't have to transfer that to the customer. we may have to, which is unfortunate, but we're trying to keep our products as cost effective as possible. And overall outlook for the business, I would say that thanks to our new site, we're experiencing a lot of new customers coming to our website, and we're getting new people just interested in what we have to offer. So it's looking bright, but hopefully we can keep those costs down.
How often do you have a steel drum band in the store?
Oh my goodness, I love that. So for our steel band, we typically do that for our customer appreciation day. That's a day that's in June where we just have a big party for our customers. We have a lot of different sales. It's actually one of our most chaotic days. It's just like a whirlwind of things going on. At one point, we used to have a patty eating contest, which was super fun, but we haven't done that in years. But we have a live band, the steel drums, and also a live DJ as well, just celebrating our customers and, just showing our appreciation.
Is there anything from island living culture that your dad's been able to kind of get into you? And do you spend much time in Jamaica?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, I love that question. So I don't spend as much time in Jamaica as I'd like to because the plane tickets can be so expensive. But I was there in January, and I spent some time with my cousins, and I absolutely love it. I do love island living. I just love nature, especially, and being able to maybe go to a river and, just do little rock climbing in nature. It's just so much fun. So something that my family overall has passed down to me, I would say, is cooking. I love to cook Jamaican food, and it's just something that I enjoy doing. So knowing that I can cook some of these recipes and that some of my elders have had them, that makes me so happy that they enjoy it as well. I feel like I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Melissa, we have a few minutes left. As we close out, I give everybody a chance to do a shameless plug about anything they'd like. What would you like to plug today?
My goodness. Okay, so if anyone wants to follow me on LinkedIn, it would be Melissa Morris, MBA. And I don't know if you'll see my image, but if you do see it, it's me. So you could definitely follow me on LinkedIn, and we can connect through there. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and my family's business, our website is www.sams.com if you'd like to check out any of our items that we have. Sam
That's perfect. Then I'll make sure I get those on the show notes.
Thank
Melissa
you.
Morris, the marketing and all kinds of other roles with Sams247.com, a unique marketplace in Long Island, right? Long
Yes,
Island, New York.
Long Island, New York.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Brent. Appreciate it.
Talk Commerce is a production of Content Basis, LLC. For more creative content, go to contentbasis.io.